The Future I Saw. Ryo Tatsuki's 2025 vision is happening now. Welcome to the journey of wisdom. In 1999, a quiet Japanese illustrator named Ryo Tatsuki claimed she saw the future not metaphorically, but vividly in her dreams. At the time, few listened. But now, in 2025, her most haunting vision is beginning to unfold, almost exactly as she described. What did she see? And why are people around the world suddenly paying attention to a forgotten book written over 2 decades ago? This video isn't just about predictions. It's about patterns, awareness, and the strange question: can someone truly dream of the future? Stay with me. What you're about to hear might challenge the way you think about time, destiny, and the unseen threads connecting us all. And before we dive in, tell me, do you believe in prophetic dreams, or is it all just coincidence? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Number 1. Who is Ryo Tatsuki? Ryo Tatsuki may not be a household name, but her story is one that has quietly stirred curiosity and concern over the years. A Japanese manga artist by trade, Tatsuki published a little-known book in 1999 called The Future I Saw. At first glance, the book seemed like a collection of imaginative dreams, a blend of surreal imagery and personal visions that many believed to be just another artistic expression. However, what made her work strikingly different was that each of these dreams came with specific future dates, mapped out in a calm yet haunting tone, like puzzle pieces waiting for time to catch up. Her predictions were initially overlooked, even laughed off, but as time passed and some of those future dates began aligning with real-world events, such as natural disasters, global shifts, and social unrest, people began revisiting her book with a different lens. What once felt like an obscure dream journal suddenly became something unsettlingly close to a prophetic timeline. This is where the line between fantasy and foresight begins to blur. Number 2. Confirmed predictions that came true. What would you do if someone told you that major world-changing events like the 2011 Great East Japan earthquake or the COVID-19 pandemic were predicted decades before they actually happened? Would you believe them? This is the question that surrounds Ryo Tatsuki, a Japanese illustrator who, back in 1999, published a little-known manga titled The Future I Saw collection of dreams. She claimed revealed detailed visions of the future. And what's most shocking? Many of those dreams seem to have come true with chilling accuracy. Let's talk about a few of the most striking examples that are causing people today to stop, look back, and ask themselves, what else might she have seen? In 1999, Ryo Tatsuki predicted one of the most devastating disasters in modern Japanese history, the 2011 Great East Japan earthquake. But she didn't just vaguely talk about a big quake. She wrote down specific details, the exact month, the 9.0 magnitude, and even the tsunami that followed. Her notes eerily described how water would swallow cities and how fear would rise as people faced not just nature's fury, but also the man-made threat of a nuclear disaster, something that tragically became reality with the Fukushima power plant meltdown. Now, think about this. How often do we hear people speak in specifics when making predictions? And how often are they right? This wasn't just a guess. It was something deeper, something that continues to leave many in awe. Fast forward to 2020, and once again, her vision appeared to align with real events. Ryo Tatsuki had foreseen a mysterious lung-related virus that would affect the whole world. She described scenes of deserted streets, people wearing masks, and widespread panic. She even noted confusion and disarray among world leaders, reflecting the very same political turbulence and indecisiveness we witnessed during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Isn't it curious that such a clear description of global chaos came from a dream years before it unfolded in our lives? But these aren't the only times her visions matched real events. Over the years, Ryo has also spoken of massive floods, raging wildfires, and periods of financial instability, of which seem to track closely with the world's increasing struggle against climate change, economic fragility, and natural disasters. Whether you see these as coincidences, intuition, or something more mystical, one thing is clear: her dreams carried messages that continue to echo into our present. So this leads us to a deeper question: how much of the future is already written, and how much can we shape ourselves? If someone can see glimmers of what's to come, maybe that's not just a call to be afraid, but a call to wake up, to act with more awareness, and to live with more compassion. Number 3. The 2025 Vision, the Final Prophecy. In her updated edition of The Future One Saw, published in 2021, Ryo Tatsuki presents a powerful and deeply unsettling vision of what she believes is coming in July 2025, a natural disaster of overwhelming force. Her prophecy, which has caught the attention of various media outlets including CNN, speaks of a massive rupture beneath the sea between Japan and the Philippines. This isn't just a typical earthquake prediction. She describes a scenario where the ocean itself turns violent, possibly far surpassing the devastating tsunami that struck Japan in 2011. What sets her vision apart is not only the potential scale of destruction waves 3 times higher than those witnessed in Tohoku, but also her haunting imagery: oceans boiling, landscapes shifting, and life as we know it being disrupted. These visions have led some to believe she may be describing an underwater volcanic eruption or a colossal tectonic movement, something that would ripple far beyond physical geography, affecting societies, economies, and even our collective psyche. The epicenter she outlines isn't random. It forms a diamond shape that connects Japan, Indonesia, Taiwan, and the northern Mariana Islands region, known for intense seismic activity. And this makes her warning even more chilling, because it aligns with what geologists already recognize as a volatile area, vulnerable to Earth's natural turbulence. This prophecy is both mysterious and unsettling. Whether you believe in predictions or not, Ryo Tatsuki's vision makes us pause and reflect on the unpredictable power of nature. Her words don't just warn of physical destruction, they also invite us to think about how fragile life can be and how quickly the world around us can change. Instead of debating or overthinking, let's respond with a calm heart and a mindful spirit. Comment below with, "Stay prepared, stay calm." It's a simple reminder for all of us to live with awareness, not fear. Number 4. Real world reaction. Although Ryo Tatsuki herself has repeatedly emphasized that she is not a prophet, but merely someone who dreams vividly, the uncanny accuracy of her predictions has stirred a deep sense of wonder and anxiety in many. She has kept a low profile over the years, rarely giving interviews, and when she does speak, she downplays the significance of her visions. Yet, as we now find ourselves standing in the very year she once saw in her dreams 2025, the line between coincidence and foresight feels increasingly blurred. Her visions, once dismissed as obscure fiction or strange imagination, have begun to resonate with current events, causing a ripple effect in public behavior. Particularly striking is the real-world shift in tourism patterns. Reports have confirmed that fear surrounding her predictions is affecting travel plans. WWPKG, a prominent travel agency in Hong Kong, recently revealed that travel bookings to Japan dropped by nearly 50% during the Easter holiday season, a sharp decline that echoes a growing unease. This decline isn't just based on Tatsuki's visions alone. It has been further exacerbated by official advisories, such as the one issued by the Chinese embassy in Tokyo in April 2025. Their statement urged Chinese citizens to stay alert in light of possible natural disasters, hinting at recent geological disturbances like tremors and volcanic activity near Japan's coast. This interplay between prophecy, fear, and reality is a powerful reminder of how our perceptions shape our actions and how deeply rooted fears can take on a life of their own when echoed by official sources. Despite the growing concern, Japanese authorities have maintained a measured stance, choosing instead to reinforce the public's trust in the nation's disaster preparedness systems. The Japan Meteorological Agency, known for its highly sophisticated seismic monitoring capabilities, has not issued any warnings specific to July 2025. Their confidence in their technological infrastructure speaks to a broader truth we often forget in moments of fear. Preparation and awareness are far more effective tools than panic. As individuals, especially those of us between 30 and 65, who may carry more responsibilities, family, careers, it is crucial that we practice discernment. It is natural to be cautious, but we must also resist letting anxiety control our decisions, especially when rooted in information that is open to interpretation rather than certainty. Tatsuki, in many ways, embodies the ancient figure of Cassandra, a woman cursed with true visions but fated to be ignored. Her quiet presence in Japanese society, neither fully dismissed nor fully embraced, reflects our collective discomfort with mystery. Her book, The Future I Saw, has become a rare and sought-after item, no longer in print. Some say this is simply due to publishing rights, while others whisper of a more deliberate effort to silence her. Conspiracy theories flourish in the digital age, often fed by gaps in knowledge or the absence of clear explanations. Whether or not these theories hold any truth, they point to something very human, our deep craving for meaning in chaos and our suspicion when answers seem withheld. As we walk through uncertain times, let us take a more mindful approach, choosing to be informed rather than inflamed, grounded rather than gullible. Number 5. Bigger picture, philosophy and reflection. Let's take a deeper look at what Ryo Tatsuki's predictions really mean, not just on the surface, but in a way that makes you think about your own life, your choices, and the world we all share. This part of the journey isn't about wild theories or fear, it's about stepping back and asking the big questions. Are her visions showing us a fixed destiny that we can't escape, or are they signposts, warnings pointing to what could happen if we continue on a certain path? Is the future something rigid, like train tracks leading us in one direction, or is it more like a river flowing, changing and shaped by the choices we make each day? Think about that. What does your heart tell you when you ask yourself, am I on a path that I've chosen, or one that I've fallen into? In Buddhism and many Eastern philosophies, time isn't seen as a straight line. It's a circular cycle that repeats again and again, like the seasons or the rising and setting of the sun. From that view, a prophecy is not so much a glimpse of something new, but a remembering, a soft echo from a previous life, or a repeating pattern in the great turning wheel of time. Could it be that Ryo Tatsuki isn't forecasting the future, but instead recalling a moment from another lifetime? A karmic ripple that's returning once more to give us the opportunity to respond differently this time. If that's the case, then maybe the year 2025 is more than a date, it's a test of awareness, a spiritual checkpoint, a moment where the karmic currents gather and ask us, are we awake or are we still asleep? And when we look at the signs, the strange shifts, the collective sense that something isn't quite right, it's easy to let fear take over. But that's not why we're here. That's not the message. This space, this conversation, is not meant to stir panic, but to inspire clarity. What if your intuition, that quiet feeling that things are changing, isn't paranoia, but wisdom? What if that unease is your deeper self trying to get your attention, nudging you to become more aware of the world around you, of your choices, of how everything is connected? This isn't just about one woman's vision, it's about you, me, and everyone waking up to the truth that the future is not something that happens to us, but something we create, one action, one thought, one decision at a time. So what now? What do we do with this awareness? First, we stay grounded. We don't run from the unknown, we meet it with presence. We observe the patterns in our lives, in our communities, and in the world. We reflect on what's working and what isn't. We listen deeply not just to news or predictions, but to that still, small voice within. We ask honest questions. Am I contributing to harmony or chaos? Am I acting out of love or fear? We seek connection with ourselves, with each other, and with something greater than us. And most importantly, we remember that nothing is set in stone. Even if the signs are pointing toward challenge or crisis, we still have the power to respond with compassion, clarity, and courage. So I invite you, from wherever you are, to hold this truth close. You are not powerless. You are part of something vast and interconnected. The ripples of your thoughts, your actions, your presence matter. And if we truly want to face whatever lies ahead in July 2025, let's do it with eyes open, hearts steady, and hands ready to help build a better world. Because that's the real message behind these visions, not doom, but the possibility of awakening. Now ask yourself, what future are you helping shape, starting today? Lesson to take away. The future isn't fixed, it's formed by how we show up in the present. Awareness is the first step to wisdom. Choose presence over panic, connection over confusion, and love over fear. Thank you for watching The Future I Saw. Ryo Tatsuki's 2025 vision is happening now. It means a lot to have you here as part of our community. If today's video sparked any thoughts, questions, or feelings, don't hesitate to share them in the comments. If you're new here, just drop a simple "I am a newbie" to let us welcome you. And if you've been walking this path with us for a while, feel free to write "I am still here," a small reminder that our journey continues together. Your presence and support help us keep exploring these stories and teachings with heart and purpose. Now, let's keep walking this journey of wisdom together. Awaken in the face of prophecy. Plant seeds of awareness in the present. When we hear predictions like those from Ryo Tatsuki, whether they turn out to be true or not, the most important response isn't fear, but mindful awareness and conscious action in the present moment. Just like a farmer can't control the weather but can choose the right time to plant and tend the soil each day, we too can prepare for the future through the mindful steps we take today. Here are 5 simple yet profound ways to stay awake, helping you remain steady, not panicked, when faced with uncertainty. Number 1. Return to the breath. Anchor the mind in the now. In a world flooded with predictions, news alerts, and emotional noise, it's easy for the mind to be pulled in many directions, especially when words of prophecy or warning stir fear or uncertainty in us. But before we allow ourselves to be carried away by those external currents, we must learn to come back to a place that is always available to us: the breath. Returning to the breath is not just a relaxation technique, it's a sacred homecoming. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor." The breath anchors the mind in the present moment, reminding us that right now, this very breath is a space of safety, clarity, and truth. When something unsettling enters your awareness, be it news of disaster, a personal problem, or a grim prediction, the first reaction shouldn't be panic or immediate belief. Instead, pause. Breathe in slowly and breathe out gently. This simple act of breathing with awareness gives the mind space to settle, so that we are not reacting from fear, but responding from stillness. It's like returning to the shore after being pulled by the tides. In that calm, we can see more clearly. By starting each day with just 5 minutes of conscious breathing, we set a gentle but powerful tone. Sit quietly, feel your breath come and go, and observe your thoughts without judgment like leaves floating down a stream. This is not about emptying the mind or achieving some mystical state, but simply reconnecting with what is real in this moment. Just like planting seeds in good soil, these few minutes of mindfulness each morning help grow awareness, patience, and resilience over time. Even the Buddha emphasized, just as a solid rock is not shaken by the storm, even so the wise are not affected by praise or blame. When we consistently return to our breath, we develop that same unshakable inner ground. And in modern life where distractions are constant and stress is a silent companion, this practice becomes more vital than ever. Think about how often we let outside information dictate our emotions. A social media post, a news headline, a comment from someone we know. These things can pull us away from peace if we're not mindful. But the breath is always with us. It doesn't need a subscription. It doesn't drain our energy. It restores it. In our busy, often chaotic modern lives, many of us are constantly multitasking, racing from one task to another, and unknowingly deepening the grooves of anxiety and impatience. Yet when we take just a few minutes each day to breathe and return to ourselves, we break that cycle. Over time, this simple habit becomes a refuge, a sacred rhythm that steadies us amidst the noise. So as we explore the idea of awakening in the face of prophecy, we must remember, awareness is not about predicting the future, but planting seeds of presence in the now. Every conscious breath waters those seeds. We cannot control what is foretold, but we can choose how we show up in each moment. And when our minds are anchored in the breath, we do not get lost in fear, we grow in wisdom. As Lao Tzu once said, if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. The breath is our gateway to that peace. Let it guide you every day back to yourself. Number 2, practice gratitude. Touch the wholeness of the present. In a world filled with uncertainty, it's easy to get caught up in what might happen tomorrow. We wait for signs, worry about what the future holds, or even fear predictions that haven't yet come true. But while we're busy looking ahead or fearing what's around the corner, we forget something important. This moment right now is already a miracle. The breath you're taking, the sky above you, the way the light filters into your room, the sound of someone you care about laughing, these are not small things. They are life itself. When you pause to see what's actually here, you begin to recognize the fullness of your life, not as a someday destination, but as something already unfolding. You might be surrounded by challenges, yes, but you're also surrounded by blessings. Have you noticed that both can exist side by side? That gratitude doesn't erase your pain, but it offers you balance, a steady hand to hold in the middle of the storm. Gratitude, when practiced sincerely, is a way of waking up to the richness of the present. It's not just saying thank you when things go right, it's a deeper awareness that reminds you, I'm still here, I still have something, I still can love, breathe, and begin again. That is power. That is clarity. You don't need to wait for something grand to happen in order to feel whole. Wholeness doesn't come from future achievements, wealth, or even the end of your worries. It comes from touching what is real right now. So ask yourself, what are 3 things you can truly feel thankful for today? Not out of obligation, but out of a gentle curiosity toward your life. Maybe it's a kind word someone said. Maybe it's your favorite food. Maybe it's simply the quiet moment you gave yourself to reflect. The Buddha often taught that the present moment is the only place we truly live. When we live in fear of the future or dwell in regrets of the past, we step out of life itself. But when we bring our attention back to know, and when we fill that now with appreciation, we find peace, even if just for a moment. Gratitude, in this way, becomes a bridge. It helps you cross over from anxiety to presence, from lack to abundance, from blindness to clarity. And even though it may not make your problems vanish, it does something even more powerful. It keeps you from drowning in them. As the teaching goes, gratitude doesn't make your problems disappear, but it keeps you awake enough not to be overwhelmed by worry. That awakening, that staying awake to your life, is what keeps you grounded. Try this simple practice tonight. Before bed, take out a small notebook or even just a piece of paper and write down 3 things you're grateful for. But don't rush it. Don't write what you think you should feel grateful for. Let your heart speak. What touched you today, even just a little? What moment made you feel alive or seen? The more honest you are, the more powerful this practice becomes. Over time, this small daily act can rewire your mind to notice joy, even in difficult seasons. So what does this teach us? First, that presence is a gift tone that gratitude helps us unwrap. Second, that we have more than we think, even when life feels heavy. And third, that the seeds of peace are already inside us. We just need to water them with awareness. Keep planting those seeds. Stay awake. You don't need to wait for a perfect future to feel alive. You just need to notice this imperfect, beautiful now. Number 3, cultivate compassion, sow peace in the mind. When fear takes hold of the mind, something troubling happens. We begin to close ourselves off. We become guarded, suspicious, and even harsh. Fear whispers that we must protect only ourselves, and suddenly we start to see others as threats or burdens instead of fellow travelers on this same uncertain path of life. Maybe you've noticed this in yourself or in others. When tension rises, people grow defensive, blame quickly flies, and kindness becomes rare. But right there, in that moment, lies a choice: to let fear rule our reactions, or to soften, breathe, and respond with compassion. Compassion is not weakness, it's courage in action. It is the bold decision to open your heart even when it hurts, even when it feels risky. As the Buddha taught, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. Compassion, then, is not just a beautiful concept, it is a tool for transforming fear into understanding, division into connection. Ask yourself right now, how often do I pause in a stressful moment and really consider what others might be feeling? Not just what they said or how they acted, but what pain they might be carrying. This pause, this inner stillness, is the seed of compassion. It allows you to shift from reacting out of ego or habit to responding from a deeper place of wisdom. Sometimes compassion means holding space in silence for someone's grief. Sometimes it means offering kind words to a stranger who looks worn by life. And sometimes it means forgiving yourself for the mistakes you made when you didn't yet know better. What might happen if we each took even one small action each day, just to ease the burden of another person's suffering? What ripple would that send into the world? There's a quiet strength in compassion that most people overlook. While anger burns hot and fast, compassion endures. While blame seeks punishment, compassion seeks healing. It turns the mind from "why is this happening to me?" to "how can I bring peace to this moment?" And that shift, while small, is everything. The Dalai Lama once said, "If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion." This truth runs deep. It's not only about what you give to others, but also what you nourish within yourself. When you act with compassion, you are literally sowing seeds of peace within your own mind. These seeds grow silently, and over time, they change the way you see the world. You become less reactive, more grounded, less shaken by chaos, more centered in clarity. Now let me ask you, what is one way, today, in this moment, that you can practice compassion? Maybe it's reaching out to someone who's been quiet. Maybe it's pausing before judging. Maybe it's simply offering yourself a breath of kindness in the middle of a stressful day. There's no right or wrong answer, only sincere effort. The more we choose compassion even in small, seemingly insignificant moments, the more we shape a future rooted in peace. This is how we awaken, not by waiting for the world to change, but by planting the seeds of awareness and kindness right here in the soil of the present. So next time fear rises, try this. Breathe in, feel it, and then ask, can I meet this with compassion? Not just for others, but also for yourself. Because that gentle choice might just be the turning point between conflict and healing, between isolation and connection. And isn't that what the world needs most right now? If this message touched your heart, leave a comment with just 2 words. Choose compassion. Let's fill this space with kindness, own small action at a time. Number 4. Live simply and responsibly. Prepare without panic. In today's world where uncertainty seems to touch every corner of our lives, from the shifting climate to economic instability and social unrest, living simply and responsibly is not just a virtue, it's a wise and compassionate way of being. Mindfulness, often misunderstood as passive observation, is actually a form of active awareness rooted in presence. It's about being fully here, engaged, and grounded in reality, without being swept away by fear or anxiety. When we sense that change or difficulty may come, whether it's a personal challenge or a larger collective shift, we don't need to respond with panic or dread. Instead, we can prepare in a steady, thoughtful way. For example, setting aside even a small amount of savings can be a form of self-compassion and care for our future self. It's not about hoarding or worrying, but about creating a cushion of support that helps us stay balanced when life shifts unexpectedly. Similarly, learning basic survival skills like how to grow food, cook simply, or mend clothes isn't about bracing for doom, but about reconnecting with what's essential and building resilience in our everyday life. These actions don't have to be dramatic. They can be quiet, subtle, and infused with mindfulness. Staying connected with those we love is also a crucial part of this way of living. In times of difficulty, it's not things or achievements that hold us up. It's relationships. Call your parents. Check in on your neighbors. Be there, in small ways, for others. Connection is both a form of preparation and a source of strength. At the same time, we're called to gently examine how much we consume. Modern life often encourages excess: buy more, want more, fill every corner with something new, but true well-being often arises from less. Reducing waste and consumption is not just about saving money or decluttering our homes, it's about living in harmony with the earth and lightening our impact on the world around us. This simple act becomes a quiet form of love for the planet, for future generations, and for ourselves. Yet as we take these steps, we must be careful not to let preparation turn into obsession. When we spiral into overthinking every scenario or stacking supplies out of panic, we disconnect from the very peace we are trying to protect. The key is to let each action arise from a calm and spacious heart. So, how do we do that in our busy lives? It begins with daily intention. Pause in the morning and ask yourself, what do I need today to feel balanced and aware? Then follow through gently, without pressure. Let preparation be a form of kindness, not fear. You don't have to fix everything or control the future. You only have to be present, responsible, and rooted in compassion. When we live simply, we free up mental and emotional space to notice the beauty in small moments: a warm cup of tea, a smile from a stranger, a quiet evening without noise. And from that space, we plant seeds of awareness that grow into wisdom, resilience, and peace. In this way, we prepare not just for what may come, but for how we want to live, here and now. Number 5. Tend to your inner garden. Let's talk about fear, not the kind that comes from real danger, but the quiet, constant fear that sits deep inside us, stirred up by things like predictions, prophecies, or just the uncertainty of life. The Buddha once taught that all suffering begins in the mind. That means fear doesn't just appear because something outside you happened. If you're feeling shaken by a prophecy or warning, it's not that the message itself created fear. It's that the seed of fear was already inside you. This is a powerful realization because it reminds us that fear grows where it's been planted, and the good news is, what has been planted can also be changed. Your mind is like a garden. If fear has taken root, you have the ability to see it, tend to it, and transform it. But first, you must stop running from it. Look directly at it, sit with it. Ask gently, why are you here? What are you trying to tell me? Is there something I've ignored in my life that I now need to face? This kind of inner dialogue opens a path to deeper self-awareness. It's not about judgment, it's about curiosity and kindness toward yourself. Fear often shows up not to punish us, but to alert us. Maybe there's a part of your life that's out of balance, or a truth you've been avoiding. Sometimes fear is pointing us toward growth, not away from it. But if we don't pause and listen, we'll keep blaming outside sources, people, predictions, situations, never realizing that the real transformation begins within. Have you ever noticed how fear loses its grip when you finally understand it? That's not a coincidence, that's clarity. Because when you understand the root of fear, it no longer controls you. You're not pushing it away, nor are you letting it rule you, you're meeting it eye to eye. And in that moment, something shifts. Your fear becomes your teacher, not your enemy. Your discomfort becomes the soil where courage can grow. But this only happens if you're willing to do the inner work. Just like a garden needs tending, your mind needs attention. What kind of seeds are you planting there each day? Are you nurturing peace, awareness, and compassion, letting fear and confusion take over? We all carry fears, some louder than others. But remember, no prophecy, no external voice can define your fate unless you let it. The true power lies in your awareness. So ask yourself, what am I truly afraid of? And what small act of mindfulness can I do today to meet that fear with understanding rather than resistance? These questions don't need instant answers. They need your presence, your honesty, your willingness to explore. And from that place, something beautiful can begin to grow. And so, as we reflect on Ryo Tatsuki's visions and the unfolding events of our time, one truth becomes clear. The future isn't a fixed script, it's a mirror, showing us where we are and inviting us to choose how we respond. Whether her dreams were prophecy or poetic intuition, they remind us to wake up, to live more mindfully, to care more deeply, and to act with greater compassion. If this video stirred something in you, or gave you a moment of pause, I invite you to carry that awareness forward. Let's not just watch the world change, let's take part in shaping it with wisdom and intention. Thank you for spending this time with The Journey of Wisdom. If you found value in this message, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming videos. We have many more stories and reflections to explore together. Until next time, stay grounded, stay aware, and keep walking the path with an open heart.